globalization, and does it work? Well, globalization is the integration and interaction between nations across the world, economically, politically, and culturally. So let's take McDonald's for example. It was founded in US in the year 1940 by the McDonald's brothers. But the franchise company as we know it today was first placed in Des Plaines, Illinois in the spring of 1955 and then spread all around the world. Now globalization is very widespread, but it has as many benefits as it has detriments.
There are quite a few benefits to globalization, like free trade and organizations such as NAFTA, which lowers the tariffs on imported goods. Cheaper and more efficient products due to advances in transportation and technology, and also political and cultural integration.
However, there can be just as many drawbacks as benefits, such as cultural integration, which can cause conflicts and misunderstandings between nations, ever-changing environmental regulations, trade problems that can put a country into debt and competition, and if a country has more imports than exports, that can be disastrous to the country's economy.
Globalization has many benefits and drawbacks. A good example of this is this game of chess. How did I do that? The game of chess originated in India in the 15th century. And it evolved to Persia. What comes to mind when the word chess is mentioned is a metal board with glass figures. But that is obviously not the case with this tube of chess. Inside is a range of plastic figures and rug-type boards. So obviously from this example, globalization has changed the game a lot, or at least its formatting. This chess is a good example because it says it's made in Canada, but in reality, it was probably only assembled here. The pieces were probably shipped from somewhere in Japan, and the rug somewhere in Mexico, and they probably shipped it all over to Canada so it can take credit for making it. Hooray! This is all an example of post-Fordism, which is a great example of globalization.
Globalization is a useful thing in most people's eyes, but have you ever thought that not everyone has the same perspective on it? Let's venture and take a closer look at 3 different major views of globalization. Our first major perspective, corporate leaders. So what is your outlook on globalization?
Well, globalization is something beneficial to all of us, but as a company owner, I get various types of profit from it. You see, in order to keep our products and devices running, we must make sure our products are being imported and sold all around the world. Trade is a key point in our work. We want to make sure that everyone gets our wonderful products and that they are being sold all around the world. Altogether, globalization is very beneficial for me, not only because it works well, but I also get a large profit.
So how does your company keep up to level? I mean, there are lots of other companies that produce the same products. Doesn't this create competition for you?
Of course, we keep up to level since we update our products fast and make sure they come in the best quality. And yes, there can be competition when selling a product to the people. We want to make sure the people buy our product and not someone else's product. However, competition creates more demand for certain products, which allows us to sell more of it at a higher price.
Our second view are the workers who work in the factories. Let's see what one of them has to say about globalization. So, what do you think about globalization?
That's kind of a wide term. Well, I guess globalization is alright. We can go to different places and get foreign food and stuff like that. And also because of globalization, there's more trading and movement going on as well, right? But also, aren't we polluting our land by lowering these environmental regulations and building factories in other nations? So I guess that not all aspects of globalization are good.
So, another question, do you get many benefits out of it?
I get a job. That's about as good as someone like me can get. I mean, I do get cheaper imported products, but there's also a risk that my company could move somewhere else and where they can hire workers for even less. And then I lose my job, which is really important. Even though I work like for minimum wage, I still need to support my family.
Finally, let us take a look at the most important perspective, and that would be a consumer. So why is this view so important? Well, that's simple. That's because everyone these days is generally a consumer. Day to day, we buy things that we don't even need without even realizing it. For example, take an inventory of your house and see how many things you bought that you actually need and see how many things you bought that you actually wanted. You'll actually be surprised to find out that most of the things in your house were actually bought out of want. So, without us, there would actually be no way that company owners would be able to successfully sell their products. Now, what do you think about globalization?
I think globalization can be a very beneficial thing for us consumers. It can get us cheaper goods and there's a bigger variety of it. But there are also some bad things for me. There is an endless supply of unnecessary things and products don't last very long. Basically, I think what companies do in this case is make an endless amount of non-durable items which break as quickly as they come, and then we have to buy new ones. This way, we spend more money and they sell their product. To me, it's kind of like a cycle. We buy the product, it breaks, and then we buy a new one. Though this is only benefits to the people who make this product, not us.
Now, here is a different kind of consumer that we're going to talk to. Now, what do you think about globalization?
What the? Is globalization? Is this another environmental promotion? 'Cause I don't give up. About no teddy bears, hun. Oh! I get it. But I still don't care. Isn't this something the government should care about? Like, it shouldn't be asking me because I'm just your average shopper. And God, these are well, if you really think about it, globalization doesn't affect me at all because I just buy stuff, right? So I go to the mall, get what I need, and go home. It costs me a lot, but that's about it. I don't see what that has anything to do with global warming. Bye.
And so, there you have it. As you can see, there are quite a few different perspectives on globalization, starting from corporate leaders to workers and even consumers. Everybody somehow benefits from globalization, though some may have greater benefits from it than others.
Greetings, loved ones.
It's not
Fail.
now
While the
With
grass
pieces
is really
made
greener.
somewhere in USA,
What?
and
When
the
you
word
walk,
is worldwide.
there must be something in the water.
Yeah, see? It's worldwide. Nothing like
Lying underneath the palm tree. Break the neck.
We have made it home, and everybody was
You could charm in the world, but nothing comes close to the golden couple. Once you party with us, you'll be falling in love. We're up against the boat, but you so hot. Won't let your posse roll.
She's having trouble. Look here. This is all a great
We're undeniable.
excellent example of those phrases which is E-I-E-I-O. I know I'm down on high level. Please pause this now.
Put your hands up.
I guess.
Now, what do you think about